All right. Greetings. What's happening, everybody? It's Uncle Makara back at it again with another video. This time we're talking all about one of our favorite topics on this channel, attraction. Okay. Attraction is such a powerful topic because we can never stop talking too much or too less about this, right? This is such a powerful understanding already that we get. Okay. So let's get started right now. And let's start talking about this Tantric Rizz masterclass, okay? First of all, what is Rizz? Okay, for people who are not maybe Zoomers or they don't understand the slang of Rizz. Rizz is basically another way of saying charisma. It is the way that you speak to the opposite gender and you're able to pull them or attract them into your world, right? So it's the charisma that comes from social art form, social dynamics, social communication. So how smooth you are in communicating, essentially, if we think about it. Now, what is Tantra? Tantra is you connecting with the divine, weaving with the divine, uh, trying to understand ways in which the divine and you merge together, right? In different forms. So the way that you want to understand this is, first of all, you are this formlessness, okay, ultimately. You are this nothing, this formlessness giving form, right? It's this formlessness becomes the form, and it's might be in the form that you take, but also in your own mind, you're holding a specific imagery, right? And we're going to be talking about state hacking as well on here. Okay, very powerful understandings. So we're going to be talking about state hacking. So what empty equals appearance is really, this is a very profound law. Okay, I came across this in the different Vajrayana texts and so forth, that, emptiness is form is emptiness. Okay, so whatever we see around us is emptiness, is that empty space. It is our mind giving it the form and the appearance and how it looks and how it feels, and all our senses are being activated. But ultimately, it is empty of inherent existence. Okay, there is an emptiness, a substrate, you could say, right? A background, and then you fill in the background with the things in the foreground, correct? So once you live from this paradigm, you're no more like second guessing yourself, judging others because I'm empty, she's empty, he's empty, that other person, next door neighbor is empty. If everybody is actually this emptiness, and we can rest our awareness there and have these meaningful, situational contexts emerge, we're revving the engine on this thing, right? We're pulling a different level of a Swiss Army knife of mastery and attraction. Okay. Why did I use this analogy of the Swiss Army knife? Okay. Shout out to Switzerland. I lived there for 4 years. Okay. The Swiss Army knife is a knife with many different functions, right? So you are multifunctional when you're in this approach. And what are your different functions, right? Of course, you have your biological function. Okay. Bio. You have your spiritual function. Okay. Mental and emotional function. Okay. So biological function is very clear. It's your looks, it's your aura, it's your glow, it's your hairstyle, it's your avatar, it's your archetype, it's your um, hair length, it's your facial features, it's your, it's all of this stuff, right? The biological. It might even be your genes, family, right? So genes, looks, uh, facial hair, gestures, okay, chemicals you're either taking or you're inducing using your own brainwave states. Okay. So that's the biological. Now the spiritual is kind of overarching. So it's kind of this frame of understanding is beyond our frame of understanding. So we've just got to feel our best. Okay. The spiritual is really connected to the emotional. So feeling our best creates a good openness, a container where we're allowing these experiences to actually happen so we can center ourselves, right? And then the mental is the ideas that we're holding, right? The ideas, the game plan, the, stories, the values, uh, value exchange, etc. Okay. So another way of simplifying this is just inner game, spiritual, emotional, and outer game, biological and mental, right? So we can also split it up like this, okay? Inner and outer. Like two sides of our brain, right? Trying to comprehend the situation and what's going on. So how do you state hack? I'm going to show you guys some videos and hopefully I can stream and not get copyright strike, but I think it's good to explain things. I'm going to change the speed so it helps, okay? I'm going to continue on with this, guys, but let's see if this works, man. Hopefully it does. Okay. Are we all seeing this? Yes. Okay. Can we all hear this? Hold on. Just play it faster. So this is Ross Jeffries, okay? If you haven't heard of Ross Jeffries, he's one of the old school guys back in the day of social dynamics, pickup arts. An incredibly very smart human being who is some would say he's very deceptive. Ooh, right? He's using speed seduction. He understands hypnosis. Um, what a conniving, clever man, right? Well, what he's teaching here is very simple. What he's teaching here is the fact that if you feel a state first and you enter that state, you talk about it, you enter the world, the words come naturally to the world, right? So let's listen to him. This is where he's talking about fascination, I believe. Okay. So let's start listening to this. Okay.
You ever meet someone like a teacher who is just, you knew that this person had such a passion for what they were doing, that everything they said painted vivid mental images in your mind. You found that their words were not just sounds that came forth from their lips, but they were guides. Their words were guides to your own experience. So with each word you heard, you could go into that place where you really, really could form mental images. And you begin to really lock into this person and become so intrigued, so fascinated by the mastery and the control and the genuine passion that they brought to the subject that you just knew you wanted to learn more. Well, have you ever felt something like that? Yeah. Now, see, I was reading this article in Psychology Today, and they were saying when a person can feel a state of fascination, when a person can feel that sense that you're about to receive something you can really use, something that interests you, what happens is it's like the rest of the environment just disappears. Your entire world becomes this experience you're having of learning. And they said in this article that learning is about opening to something new. I'm just curious, have you ever learned something recently that you really enjoyed?
Now, the issue with this is he's not really giving her room to say anything or do anything, but he is painting an imagery, right? It's like Bob Ross painting some pictures, right, in her mind, based on the state that he's entering. So he says here, actually, if you watch the whole thing, that one of his mentors had given him this kind of framework, or he was describing one of his mentors that he was truly feeling very proud of, their connection and their passion. And so he was tapping into that. He was technically describing his mentorship and his mentor, right? He was describing that relationship with him, but what it was coming across as is he's describing himself, right? Now, some NLP guys will just point to themselves when they say certain words, or this is the basic speed seduction stuff, right? But I think what our takeaway here is as flow state Jedis, let's look at this as shamans, okay? If you're feeling loving and you're describing that experience of being loved, right? You could be describing a love between a human and a pet, doesn't matter. You are still tapping into that frequency, that energy, that vibe of love, which you are now maintaining and building, right? So, right, you could be describing a love between.
You can really use.
So now let's go on to the next example, okay? I really want to show you guys the St. John guy, man, because a lot of you guys don't believe me, right? When I just talk about it, you're like, oh, yeah, whatever. I guess he's a rapper but really what, man, look at how he, first and foremost, man, he has a band on that says Christian sex or something right there, right? It's already polarizing, right? It's already polarizing. But let's watch what he has to say. So here he's describing, excuse the language, okay? This is not for kids, so read the disclaimer. He's describing in his song A Brilliant Bitch what a brilliant bitch is. And usually bitch is seen as a very derogatory term. However, here, look at the majesty with which he is explaining this, right? It's absolutely phenomenal, man. Let's watch.
Well, okay, so then let's get into your other favorite song. All I ever wanted was a brilliant bitch with a nice ass, with a Wall Street mind, and a project smile. Girl, what's your last name? All I wanted was...
Share a last name.
Damn, why do you got my lyrics bad? It's wrong.
You might mess it up. It's all good.
Okay. All I ever wanted was a Catholic
Okay, so he's already correcting the lyrics, but irregardless.
girl who can move that work, so you don't never gotta ask me what's my type. Goddamn, I want a brilliant bitch. So your type is brilliant bitch, in a way, I guess. But what's the thing with the Catholic girl and the move the work? Please elaborate.
It's the contrast. It's a woman that has a certain degree of spiritual integrity, but she knows what's up in this world.
Okay. This is an ad, my bad, guys. Sheesh, always ads. Let's close this for a second. So what he was saying right there is really, really crucial, right? He's talking about spiritual integrity, right? And immediately, people are going to misinterpret him already for who he is, what his avatar looks like, what his character is. You guys see that? So the fact that we're actually connecting to this man's world, it's almost, he's elaborating it as if it's a privilege to hear him. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's go back a bit. Okay.
In a way, I guess. But what's the thing?
But she knows what's up in this world. She's here. She's not passing through either. She lives here. She can move that work. Like, I come from a certain degree of circumstances. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and Georgetown, Guyana, right? A poor kid that came out of nothing. So I know, you know, I've had my significant shares of run-ins with illicit activities, right? Things that I probably shouldn't be doing. Friends, family, so on and so forth. I'm not going to indict myself, though, on German.
Rebel or
crazy. Right. What's wrong with you? But you get it, like, she can move that work. She can sell drugs. So it'll be a Catholic girl that's selling drugs. I like that. I like that middle ground where things make no sense, where you're this, but you do that.
That's a paradox.
That's progressive for me. Like the girl that looks like a Victoria's Secret model, but she does motocross. Fuck yeah, send her. I'm interested in her. It's a progressive woman. That's a woman that's about this world. That's a brilliant bitch for me. Literally, I like an intelligent woman. I like a woman who's beautiful, but she leads with her conversation. Anybody can be attracted. Not to mention, you're not attracted by your own doing. You ain't do nothing to be a bad bitch. You ain't do shit. You ain't do shit. If you woke up like this, your parents, it was your genetics. You inherited it. What did you earn? I'm more interested in what you earned and less interested in what you inherited.
Well, okay, hold on.
Okay, hold on, right? So let's first of all understand that this girl's already getting so many downloads, so many different ideas, right? She's like, am I a bad bitch? Like, she's probably thinking that, right? In the back of her mind. Now, this energy here, this dynamic here that's being generated, right? He has an opinion and he's saying it purposefully, okay? Give me the girl who's doing motocross and Victoria's Secret, right? That's intriguing to me. She could teach me something about me, right?
You can, yeah, I get you, but you can do certain things as a woman. You can. Okay, makeup is an enhancement.
Sure. I'm not talking about that.
Okay, but you can enhance your looks by quite a bit. Hey, yo, I'm not gonna lie. When I wake up in the morning and I see my face, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, I'll put on makeup and I'm like, hey, look at you. Weird.
Look, you don't wake up next to me, you feel different.
Right. He's so smooth with it. All right. She's the one cracking up in nervous laughter. He's just like, all right, where's the next thing? Right. He's on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, not latching onto it, not taking the story so seriously, not getting so reactive about it. It's the Tantric Rizz, baby. I am the substrate. I am emptiness. I'm allowed to play this presentation, this performance, this laughter, this joy, whatever is inside of me. I'm going to embrace this spontaneous moment.
True. None of that's required.
Okay, so do you prefer women without makeup then? Do you feel like that's more honest?
I prefer a woman in her most sincere state.
Sincerity, authenticity, relevance, contextual revelations with another individual. Okay. Hey, we got golds on here. Okay, let me just actually share this with the group. Maybe people don't know I'm going live. All right. So we get this, right? We get this understanding. Now, one man who is an absolute diabolical criminal mastermind genius, okay, is John Zerka. You might have seen him pop up on your news feed way too much. If you've ever been on the internet, you've probably heard of him or seen him, maybe Twitch streamer. He has a lot of backlash. He's very outrageous. He's very polarizing. He probably has a bad media, got kicked off of Kick itself, right? Like just he's painted himself as the villain to get clout money, right? And you know that this guy's personality working as a bouncer in a nightclub year after year after year after year after year, he's going to pick up certain skill sets, right? To embody him. First of all, if you've been a bouncer, you already have that physical protectiveness. Now he's like 6'5". Okay, let's watch his game for a second. This is, I think, some Fortnite guy's girlfriend that the title is clickbaity, but irregardless, let's just notice their body language cues, right? So notice how Zerka right here, right? We're just observing the Tantric Rizz, right? He goes like this with his hands. And notice she's going to copy, mirror. Boom. Okay? This is a great understanding of mirroring. Okay? But it's also, he's actually pacing the situation. Like, he's the one who does it first. She's the one trying to mirror you. Usually you're trying to mirror her. You see? So mirroring could even be an indicator of interest. Someone's trying to take on your mannerisms. They're saying your catchphrases the way you say them, right? And all of these different things. So I think this is really key and really powerful to understand. And man, can somebody like download this thing for us? Because I don't know if this stream will be even allowed, or there might be copyright strikes and stuff like this. But again, I'm sure if people read the disclaimer, we're not using any of this material. This is all for education, okay, for teaching. So if YouTube has any qualms about this, it is what it is. But I'm just showing what I'm showing from my perspective, okay? But yeah, somebody, if you can, after this is done, you could just download this and, maybe we'll have it on a secret server somewhere, or yeah, in case it gets taken down. But anyway, let's go. Okay. Did she try to copy that as well? Yeah, she does. Right? Now he's doing something. It's just a back and forth. Let's see here. Look, it's so casual, right? let's see here. Okay, the use of props. Let's actually see this. Let's speed it up to, yeah, 1.75.
If you, let me see your Instagram.
No, I don't. These were photos.
That's you? That is not you.
That's you? That's not you. Okay. Disqualifying her beauty, right? Just like, all right, whatever. That's Photoshop.
That's you. I'll date you. That ain't you.
It's really
Who is
good.
this if that's you?
It's really good photos.
It's really good Photoshop.
They're not even Photoshop.
Show more, show more. I'm almost done.
It's from an actual photographer. It's because I have no makeup on right now.
Really? I swear. Can you actually pretty? You have makeup on?
No.
Can you actually pretty? I didn't even notice that. I have no makeup on. Yo, you could.
Wait, you don't have any makeup on? Right? It's notice that it's like, oh yeah, that's not you. That's so pretty. But then he realizes that she doesn't have makeup, and now it's like a big deal, right?
Why is this all so low?
So only give credit where credit is due, right? Don't randomly just say it just to appease or just to get her closer. Like, I know the word attraction means pull, right? We understand that. But any gambit that you meet, okay, any storyline that you create, any moment that you create, it's to go from meeting to sex, right? And immediately you want to disqualify not only yourself, but because you disqualify yourself, whatever, dude. I'm not here for the boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic, right? I'm just here to have fun. I'm here to connect. I'm here to be myself. Are you a part of my life? Are you interested in this? Do you want to join this tribe, right? That's the energy. It immediately disarms all obstacles around you too, because they don't think you're a threat. You're not a person who's, in the situation trying to get something. No, you're just there to have fun. You're just there to connect, right? And so disqualify to have her requalify herself to you, right? Then we have the 5 attraction switches. I don't know if you guys know this, but from Mystery and the Mystery Method, he speaks about this. Now, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that have been taken down because of this, right? People need to know this ism. People need to know this Rizz, but it's been taken down, okay? A lot of people's infield videos have been taken down. A lot of people's, they're trying to teach the community and trying to teach people about social dynamics, and yet they want you to stay stuck, right? Because this is like the key that helps you unlock your own life. You start taking the controller back in your own hands of the video game, right? So if you hit the 5 main attraction switches, protector of loved ones, willingness to emote, successful risk taker, and I'm forgetting the other ones right now. What are they? Willingness to emote, successful risk taker, protector of loved ones. What are the 5 attraction switches, guys? Let's look it up. Actually, hold on. 5 attraction. Okay. Leader of men, right? Pre-selection. Those are the 2 that I forgot. Correct. Okay, thanks. Pre-selection. Pre-selection means you're already seen around other women, that you're safe with women, that, they see you with a girl. You walk in with maybe with some girls who are friends, right? Immediately they're more at ease. This guy isn't trying to get me. He isn't trying to do something. He's not trying to ask me for my number like every other guy. He's actually trying to form something, build something, do something. There's an interesting thing about this individual, right? And if you notice the picture behind me, by the way, this is generated through AI, a very powerful image of Kala Bhairava and Bhairavi together, in this kind of embrace, almost like looks like an erotic novel, right? Type of vibe to it. And this energy of the strong masculine and the nurturing feminine coming together to create this wholeness, this archetype of wholeness, of purity, right? And it's such an important imagery, especially for Tantra, right? The understandings of that. Because it is this, we're giving each other this battery pack, right? In Tantra. She's getting energized by me, I'm getting energized by her. And because of that energy maintenance from each other, it's creating such a powerful outcome. Okay? So let's watch a little bit more of this, then we'll talk a little bit about this, okay?
I'm not joking.
Really?
No. This is your chance. If you
Oh
don't tweet
yeah.
it now,
Okay. This is the only makeup I have on. I just get my eyelashes done, but a little bit.
if
It's
you
okay.
don't tweet about a relationship right
We're
now,
not dating,
then
you're like my
it'll
dad.
never start. Then it'll never start if you don't tweet it right now.
Look at what she said. We're not dating. You're like my dad. Right? Now the dad frame is such a powerful frame, and so is brother frame. If you understand a dad and a daughter are not gonna, that's incest, right? That's off the table. That is not cool, right? And even if you weird stepfathers, stepbrother people out there, like you guys better calm down as well. But look at it as a frame of mind, okay? If you're a big brother to her, you're not thinking of being with her. You're goofy, right? You're not goofy to the point of like, I'm a goofy goober. But you're silly, you're fun, you're lighthearted, you're teasing her. Correct? Like, you're like, yeah, whatever, dude. Right? Or sometimes you'll just call her bro. It creates that dynamic. Correct? And then she'll try to requalify. What? Okay, yeah, I guess. Oh, but I don't think that. Maybe you can. Whoa. And you become formlessness again. You become the pillar again. Whatever she says, it doesn't throw you off. Why? Because you're grounded as the bottom of the ocean. There's nothing to get. There's nothing to touch here. There's nothing to poke, and you're going to hurt me. Right? You poke me enough times, and I'm like, ow, stop hurting me. Stop hurting. Dude, you better poke there. Right? I want to deal with my shadows. Girl, you better put me on the spot. You better I better be tested. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, oh, whatever, right? Now, if somebody builds with you from a standpoint, no money, no nothing, right? Just pure awareness, just two humans connecting together. If you can reach that dynamic and you can understand the dad frame, which is the frame of protective authority, okay? Someone's had way too much sugar, okay? That's the energy, okay? The brother frame is almost like a playfulness, and it's close enough to the boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic where you're just silly and goofing off and doing a bunch of things, right? Like you're just going out in the middle of the night to get candy or something ridiculous like this for a movie you guys both want to watch, right? Or like you are creating this fun environment for yourselves, right? Like you're bringing some elements into your bedroom that helps to actually amplify and create some lightheartedness, some playfulness, right? It could be that the boyfriend girlfriend, right? That dynamic is very open. It's not like trying so hard. In the beginning, we might be trying so hard to impress each other, right? But it's just a normal, like, yay, let's, we're friends. Let's get along. Let's do this thing, right? But that spark is dying because you don't have enough masculine or feminine polarity. If you gain in your masculine polarity, you will attract a feminine counterpart. But if you start building more of a feminine polarity, then you're going to attract more masculine women in your life, right? That's just a norm. It's just the way that nature works, guys. This is the way polarity works, I'm afraid. Okay? So you're going to have to learn how to get more into your masculine polarity if you want to attract high-quality women. And it's not easy, right? You have to go through your shadow work. There's maybe different storylines or traumas, or you've been through heartbreak and all this stuff, okay? Your heart has to be broken and you have to keep going. Don't isolate yourself and just put yourself back into your own world. I think next month we got to call it Social September. Because right now we're all getting abundant. We're all learning different things. We're all kind of, keeping ourselves indoors. But I think from the next month, we are going to have to really step into the social shaman archetype. Okay. So let's see. Why is this the most viewed?
Zodiac alignment. Zodiac
It's coming at midnight tonight,
Okay.
and then she
What a
only
coincidence.
Can,
So
she
is
only
she.
can do like 30 minutes.
Like I'm gonna your you call
Oh, so she turns 18 at midnight.
I'm 18.
Wait,
Mike is the funniest motherfucker on there. You are getting funnier, bro. Mike is funnier than Zerka. What the fuck? Thanks for telling me. What a close one.
So you just turned 18 then?
I turned 18 in January. I turned 18 in January.
She said, so barely 18.
No, I'll be 19 in January.
She's 18. It's okay. Yeah, we're gonna start with 18 now. Yeah, start with 18. It's alright. I've been scouting.
If I don't get pregnant at 18, I'll never do it.
Let's get pregnant. This goes give me
We'll do
a
a family channel.
Right? That's something just a brother would say, right? It's just ridiculous. He's in his own jokes, he's in his own guy world, right? He's not trying to appease her, bring her into none of that. It's just the fact that if you were so in your own reality, right, guys? If you were so in your own world, you still got to connect with others from that space. Okay? If you just close yourself into this like strange character, like you're just like the Mr. Burns, right? You don't want to be the Mr. Burns, bro. Okay? You don't. I would rather be Ned Flanders than Mr. Burns, straight up. Okay? Because to me, an interaction with another person would open way better than with idly how neighbor, you know, right? And if I did it as an actual joke, like someone would even get it or crack up or whatever, right? But if I opened a conversation with like, excuse me, Smithers, where the bath salts at? Or whatever, right? You'd be like, that's too Mr. Burns. I don't know what this guy's intention are. That's kind of creepy, dude, right? Wait, you own a power plant? And you do what? Yes, and I have a butler of sorts. Okay, I guess so, right? So you don't want to be so weird that it's kind of pushes you away, right? Listen, a lot of you niche builders, niche creators, got to understand this stuff, man. You got to understand if you are going to walk your talk in a certain field, in a certain specific frequency that you're coming from, right? You got to understand that the topics that emerge, okay? The topics that emerge from this stuff. By the way, there's flies around because negative energies, right? Trying to throw me off course. What I can do is just refocus on my breathing. Through the nostrils, out the mouth. And imagine like a shield from your heart space. Create your main chakra path, right? So I use orange, the protective orange shield. You can use whatever color you want, depending on which chakra you want to embody, okay? Heart chakra shield, green one. Third eye shield, violet purple one or whatever, right? And it keeps going, okay, indigo. And if you really understand how to use the energy work with the social dynamics work, both together, both in the right context, both to create the outcome that you truly prefer, okay? This is like, of course, oh my gosh, this is dark psychology. I can't believe that you would teach such. Listen, man, read the disclaimer, okay? First and foremost. Secondly, this is helpful for individuals so that they don't get manipulated, so that they know that these things are out there and people are sharing this kind of information, right? It's almost like, hey, we want to keep this a secret society. Let's not share this with the world. Let's not share this with everyone. That's why Pickup Arts was an underground community in the beginning, right? All the players of the world keep it underground. Now we have an international players council, right? Players club, international players club. So now the world has evolved. Now we understand that there is an actual reason that we're learning this, is to not only learn about ourselves, is to learn about humanity and how it's evolving, right? And so this is a constant work in progress, guys. Like we're going to be learning more and more and more based on, actually raining outside. Dang. More and more and more into the type of reality that we want. Okay. Been seeing flies too during the dumb work hours. What is up with that? Yeah, the flies, golds, they're associated with you know, the Lord of the Flies, right? So the flies are usually associated with darker energies, satanic energies. Sometimes they're just messengers from like somebody else, like another deity or something. That's rare as well. However, usually what I've noticed is associated with like Beelzebub, like that kind of like very dark energy. Okay. And so just ignore them. They're just trying to get you riled up in a sense. They want you to be annoyed at it. Like, oh, right? They want you to do that so they can feed off of that irritation. So the best thing to do, that's why I just inhale, exhale, right? Just let it in and let it out, right? Now back to what I was doing. So that's the energy that you want to deal with that whenever you get like random flies and things showing up, okay? Now the Swiss Army knife approach, right? So as we understood, let's go back to this a little bit, okay? Existing whiteboard. What did we miss? Did we miss anything? I just want to check. By the way, I got this pad. It's not really working that well for me. I'm trying it out. It's kind of cool, I guess. I drew this guy from it, but I still have to probably do some settings or stuff, or maybe I'll just use it to like animate stuff or whatever. Anyway, the shadow parts. Okay, this is an important aspect. Actually, I didn't touch on this. So let's go through some of these understandings now. You have to get rid of the vagrant excuse. Oh man, I didn't even mention that, huh? I should write this down. Get rid of vagrant openers. Don't look like a homeless person saying, hello, could you give me a quarter? This is the energy, and you have this. If you've been to college, any social environment, excuse me, could I please bum a smoke? Right? Bum a smoke? What the? Yeah, in the UK, that's what they said, right? Can I bum a fag? You want a what? Right? But anyway, that's what they say when they want a cigarette, right? So like, excuse me, do you have a smoke I can lend off of you? Lend off of me? You're gonna take it, bro. What, you're gonna smoke it and give it back to me? You want to share a smoke with me? What's going on here? No, just take it, bro. Fucking okay, give me some quarters and take it. Okay. But yeah, this is the vagrant openers. Excuse me. I used to do this a lot of times and get shut down immediately, right? Excuse me, do you immediately she's already thinking, oh man, what does this guy want, right? And then we also apologize for doing it. Sorry to bother you, but is it okay if I sit here? What? Do you mind if I ask you a question? Don't ask just to ask, bro. Just fucking ask. Right? Just state it. Don't do all of this wishy-washy stuff that all these people do, right? I was just looking at you from afar and how beautiful you were. Ah, cringe. I used to do this. Okay? Now, if you have a solid opener that you always use, okay, a situational one is better, I would say, okay? It's non-intrusive in her reality, right? Hey, did you guys catch the fight outside? There's this kid like flipping me off, this like 11-year-old kid. And yeah, these two guys were fighting, right? Or whatever. That is, it might be a false scenario or whatever, but it's good practice, right? Just to start a random conversation with a stranger. Oh, hey, I like that. What's your name, by the way? Then you can go into what you want, okay? But don't go for the, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm not so sure, excuse me. The politeness just creates more of a distance, a distance, a distance, a distance. Lovely weather we're having, huh? Distance, distance, more distance, more distance. Okay? Now, if you're laughing about some inside joke that you guys noticed both in the venue, like that guy probably is Secret Service. And that guy, that other guy, right? You just snipe other people out. right in the venue. Okay. Now, the shadow parts are very interesting, especially when it comes down to the dark feminine. So, if you are a woman learning this art form, it's really important. The dark yin aspect of you is the alchemy, is the jewel. The jewel is inside your feeling. Okay. So, if you're mixing water with earth or sacral chakra with root chakra, you get mud. And mud, I mean, Lilith was said to be the first woman made out of clay and dirt, right? AKA mud. So we start to understand that we have rugged expression or a seemingly raw expression of ourselves, almost like a child doesn't second guess himself or herself, right? When that intelligent part of them just is so truthful, right? That person has glasses. That person's overweight. That person is, they don't give a fuck, right? They just say it. They just say it because they don't have that social understanding or that social acuity, right? Of course, as an adult, you're going to have social acuity with truthfulness, but there's a very powerful energy. You know, for 200,000 years, humans believed God was a woman. I mean, because honestly, we go through this weird like Kundalini chrism every time we go through the December solstice, and this time we're going to be at the crown chakra. We've chosen New Zealand for the location, right? It's one of the earth chakra doorways for us, okay, to enter. But again, this is so key, right? Oh, key, right? Overlap switches, which means, you know, multiple overlaps. Oh, I am a protector of loved ones, and I have a willingness to emote, and I'm also doing this, right? Uh, and I'm also leader of men. Like in a story, you could be like, hey, I saved my friends from this weird thing that happened, as well as, you know, I protected them, right? You protected of loved ones and leader of men is in that story together. This is what I'm saying of overlapping attraction switches. In your stories, you're not only starting the story, right? Let's say you start the story here. You can stop here and pick up a new story, right? And then you can stop this one here and then pick up another story here, or go back to that initial story, right, that you created. So you can multiple thread, which means that you can pull, this is you are the palm, and you have all of these parts of you showing up. And this is the Swissarmy knife approach. If you can remain here, that means you can start and stop anywhere you choose. But you're always coming back to center, always coming back to emptiness, right? This is the Tao. This is the Tantric aspect of this. Two people who are making love, if you imagine, they're these hollow physical bodies just moving organically. If you take it away from all the sweat and the weirdness and the smells and all the sensations and the twitches and the toes shaking, if you take it away from all of that, it is just two human bodies in unison and rhythm. Correct? And so that's the understanding that I want you to get is what state do I want her in? What state do I want him in? What does fascination feel like to you? What does charisma feel like to you? What does energy feel like to you? And tap into that through a story, through a narrative, something that you're saying, something that you're building. Let's say, just take any word, man. Give me a word randomly, Prosper P. Just give me a random word, and we'll try to focus on that word. Make it a feeling state, so something that's, or anybody, the poor people watching. Give me a word, a quality of something that you want another person to feel about you. It could be confidence, it could be fearlessness, whatever it is. What's something that is coming up for either of you, any of you? Okay. All right. Any words coming up? Anything. Blissed out with a soft focus is basically the understanding that in Tantra, you're fusing with the divine. So bliss. Okay. Okay. Let's use compassion. Okay. Let's use compassion. Okay. So this, you got just got to let it flow. All right. So let's just take compassion. You know, there's a story that my father once told me. And have you ever felt so compassionate about someone that you fully understand them and you just can't stop thinking about how important it is to them that they are being heard, they're being listened to? The compassion creates such a feeling of unity within two people that it's just like it's such a powerful extreme. Well, my father, he was once in his psychiatry chamber. He was teaching, and he was, he was doing one of his sessions, and one of his clients who walked into his room suddenly heard him say something about something else, and he was a mental ill patient. Came in, just slapped him across the face, and walked out. Now, initially, how I would feel in this situation would be I would feel outraged, I would feel kind of concerned. But what my father said is I felt a deep compassion for this man, right? Because he'd experienced some visceral feeling during therapy that he needed to lash out. And moments later, when he had this download and this thought, the man came back and apologized. Okay. And the compassion that my father had felt is he was understanding that someone can really get to the brink of that edge, really knows me, because I've been there before. I felt like slapping someone in the face. I understand that this is a powerful example, right? So that I'm just using the story, this state of compassion, right, through a little anecdote from my father getting slapped or whatever, right? And him maintaining composure, you know, creating integrity. Maybe I'm creating more compassion by me telling you guys the story because it's about compassion itself and how compassion was used. So, and ruthlessness, okay? Man, you ever put me into a situation where I'm pushed up against the wall, or, you know, I'm just kind of like outed by people, or I'm the underdog? I will show up to the plate and I will be ruthless. I will actually be relentless with my energy. Because the moment you put me into that box, the moment you place me in the middle of the jungle or the Sahara Desert or something, I will find a way. I will find a way to move forward and rummage through all of the trash going on in the external world. I know that I'm ruthless. I am safe in turn. Right? So you can take any word and do this. You can riff on it. You can rant on it. And it creates that feeling, right? So what I did initially with both of these words, Prosper, was like I took compassion and I started feeling compassionate. I took the concept of ruthlessness. I started feeling that ruthlessness through my body, right? As I'm describing this. And so, of course, you're going to get amped up. Whatever you feel, they feel, right? And you have to mirror the moment. Whatever is happening around you, you mirror it. You understand it. Not so much that you become a chameleon all the time, but you also start to understand where it's proper to mirror, right? Or do a certain thing and just notice how it's being taken, right? If you can get away with saying something very outlandish and she's okay with that, make it so that you're just like a friendly person, right? Little fist bump, little high five, you know, little pat on the head, a little, oh, that's cool. Right? Oh, yeah, like, let's go, me lady. I always do that one, okay? I don't like holding hands. I think holding hands is a weird one, right? You have to kind of synchronize it as you're going. I just like this because I can hold this for a bit, right? Very natural for me to just hold my hand like this and walk rather than this clasp. If you clasp it, you better clasp it and pull it towards you, right? When you hold a hand. So there's a lot of like, yeah, there's multiple tools. Yeah, there's multiple timeline jumps, right? And so the mindset is just fun and winning. Okay. If you can maintain fun and winning frequency, positive, upbeat, you know, we just did something amazing. Like me and my friends, we just, you know, we climbed this mountain, or we did this cool thing, or, you know, last year we went to this place. And you want to make it exciting because, again, Everybody's in their own world, looking at their phones, bored out of their minds, you know, eyes bleeding out of their sockets, whatever is going on, right? It's just like that is the general state of humanity. So if you come in with a different approach, this Tantric Rizz, you'll be absolutely unstoppable, man, right? Because not a lot of people know this stuff or even want to talk about this stuff. But the ones that get it, the ones that know it like the back of their mind, they use the Swissarmy approach, right? So it's like one moment I'm mental, the other moment I'm emotional, then I bring my biological side, my genetic code alive through my ancestry, then I slowly, you know, bring in my spiritual advancements. So it's like I'm bringing in all of these, and that's the tantra of it. You're just weaving it, multiple threading storylines and multiple timelines, and you know, you see her as who she isn't really. You see her as something completely different. And now you have an inside joke. Okay? The fantasy for me is inspiring. I want to create a new world where fantasy and reality merges. So I'm not going to go LARPing and like go to an MMORPG event. I'm going to actually call it out like, wait a second. You're a muse. You're a pixie, aren't you? Or were you an alien in a past life? If she doesn't want to talk about that or she shows hesitation, immediately I already know that that's not a conversation for me to step into. That's not my dojo, right? I'm not going to train there because my character trains where it is respected and honored. You guys get that? So I am going to create the dojo for myself that truly brings me the avatar upgrades that I'm looking for in this reality, in this world. Straight up, okay? So don't for a second get so caught up in like trying to appear a certain way or trying to do things a certain way. Just and stay away from the vagrant openers and you're good, right? Just start saying what you're going to say. Hey, get this, right? That's a way better way of starting than saying, oh, excuse me, or oh, I wonder if. So get this, right? There were these two people. Already you're hooked in, right? I don't even care what the guy is saying. I'm already there. Like, whoa, okay, he's about to tell me something cool. Even if it's not cool, you still get drawn in, right? That's attraction. All it means, guys, is just pull. Right? What is the definition of attraction? It's just pulling someone's attention, pulling their energy towards you more. Okay? Now, if you're just in this pull mentality, you're not creating anything. Right? You're just yielding. You're just receptive. You're like, pull by itself is yin. Push by itself is yang. We need push-pull, and we need to embody push-pull in order to truly be the savage shamans. Okay? Our life is a push-pull. It's pressure on, pressure off. Okay? So that means my time under tension is going to make me grow. Okay? Time under tension equals growth, right? You put yourself through a tense situation over and over and over and over and over again. Now, whenever you feel that tension, you're skilled. You're skilled at handling that tension. That's why I work in certain high pressure scenarios at times where people are going through, you know, their house is being taken away, they're getting divorced, they're getting, you know, their life is closing in, or, you know, there's certain places where they're stuck. It's a really broiling situation where things aren't working out, right? Or something, there's a fear of something, right? A fear of failure or a fear of stepping up to the plate, whatever it is, or a fear of underestimating oneself. Okay? We have to get clear about these things and then practice putting ourselves through the fire, through the tension, so that we can grow. Right? So we want to use this word tensile, okay? And the way I'm giving the definition is form plus formlessness. Okay? You got to be bendy, not in a bender way, okay? But bendy, flowing, fluid. Not just like one way. Many different ways, and they work with each other very well, right? I have all these different parts of me, but they work with myself very well. They align with myself very well. So I'm gonna double down on those things, right? That work for me. Why would I do something that doesn't work for me? Why would I go for girls who are not giving me indicators of interest? It's a waste of time, bro. Okay? You got to save yourself time in this thing, and it's time under tension. That's what's going to make you grow. Trust me on this, right? It's time under tension. You got to put yourself through the fire, through feeling that rejection, feeling that hurt, feeling that uncomfortable nature of like, fuck, I don't know if she likes me or not. You know, good. Stay in that edge, stay in that transformation. Understand this thing, right? It's very simple once you get it, right? Shadow work, polarity work, inner child healing, right? It's pretty much all the same. If you can understand ways to combat these inner versions of you that are that little voice in your head, right? Maybe that's not it. Maybe that's not good enough. I don't know how to. You got to give that voice a different pitch. Hey, man, that's not good enough. Get out of here, you pipsqueak. The hell are you doing here? Right? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. What? Right? You got to get authoritative. You got to get a little bit aggressive with that voice internally, right? Like, yo, let's go already. Let's go already. Let's go, right? That energy has to be activated. And it's not that easy. It's difficult because there's a lot of layering. But if you remove all of those layers, not bare yourself naked, read the disclaimer, okay? But if you bare yourself of all of those layers, those character layers, and you're like in that tantric frequency, just feeling blissed out, feeling good, but you're also moving with the moment, right? You're mirroring and moving with the moment. You have this soft focus. You have your peripherals activated. And you're grounded and also very elevated at the same time, okay? Grounding and elevation at the same time. Powerful, 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 okay? I hope you guys really love this, and if you have any questions, let me know right now, okay? Let's end this right now. I think this was a powerful experience, a powerful live, and hopefully you guys got a lot out of this, and you can now begin to apply this stuff back into your own life. I hope that gives you a different perspective. I hope that you can learn to use this stuff based on your own archetype, based on your own lifestyle, and just pull it through, man. You know, Art of Seduction, you know, that book, which we've covered a lot on this channel, is very important for you to get an understanding of that too. So if you have any questions around that, let me know. And yeah, let's get on this upward spiral frequency, okay? Prosper says, be the master of your weak lizard brain. Yep. And use the same thoughts as energy into doing what is necessary to accomplish. Yeah, man. And the easy way to rule your lizard brain is through your images, the images in your mind. Because the lizard brain responds in visuals, right? So if it's giving like a very depressing imagery, you got to add little bits of color on the sides of that portrait, my friend, right? That's what's going to break you out of that shackle by understanding you're the painter of this thing. Don't stay in that gloomy reality just because that's what you're told to believe and others would rather have you there, and like it's a pity party thing. Don't stay there just because, right? You're allowed to free roam in this adventurous, you know, game. This is multiplayer mode. It's not a uniplayer game, okay? We need other people in our lives to interact with and connect with. That's just a part and parcel of life. And I believe being a shaman. So let's not be the shamans that just hide in caves all day. Let's be shamans that are open, genuine, eccentric healers that understand the path and open to that beginner's mind. Let's get it. Upward spiral gang. May we never be the same again. Stay legendary.